Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our Friday Q&A. We are here to talk about Feng Shui Toolkits, so how you can use your business and everything that you do about your business plan, your business idea, your business marketing, and what we're going to help you with is the energy side of your business. So this is the Feng Shui Toolkit that incorporates 4 different key drivers. One is your astrology chart, your Feng Shui, so that your floor plan, your timing and when you're going to be launching certain things or scheduling important meetings, and then also doing the real yin side, the meditative side of really manifesting and using your universal intelligence to help you make informed decisions. So if you are new to us, hi, my name is Kathleen Horvath Zemansky. I'm a business feng shui master, astrologer, and the creator of the TimeBlazr. And to my left is my assistant Alice. Alice, just introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Alice Wing. I do everything in the back end for Five Elements Group, from, I guess, putting together, organizing, and running Kathleen's events and classes and courses programs, too. Everything from that to even troubleshooting technical issues that arise.
Yeah, and if you get someone from our office on the phone, you're most likely going to be talking to Alice. So be very nice to Alice. All right, let's just dive into because we got quite a few questions this week. Let's get started. Go ahead.
Okay, so the first question is, hi Kathleen, how can you see the missing elements? Once there is no color in the drawing of the element, still confusing love Antoinette. So I think she's talking about the 5 structures in the astrology chart, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we're answering the questions the best that we can based on how you ask the questions. So I believe that this is correct as well. We're using a sample chart. We don't actually have her chart in front of us, but what when you're looking about the missing elements, what we're looking for is if you have all of the 5 elements in your chart or not. And how we find that is it's a sum total of all of the elements of year, month, and day and hour. And please make this distinction that if you don't know your hour of birth, it may be a little bit skewed because you don't have a full picture of what is in your chart. So we do the best we can with the information that you give us, but let's assume that you have given us your year, month, day, and hour of birth. It is going to take the compilation, the sum total of all of those elements, and it's going to put this in this particular dial, which is called the 5 structures, and or we split the yin and yang of those elements, and then we would put them in the archetypes. So ideally, like I said, we'd love to see all of the 5 elements in your chart. You may not have yin and yang of all the 5 elements, but we do like to see all of the elements. Why? Because you are playing, just think of a card game that you're playing with a full deck. If you don't have a full deck, that means that you are going to be a bit compromised in some of the things that you're trying to do. So and I'm going to just open this chart up a little bit if you, just so you can see this a little bit easier. But basically, if, and where you have very little of an element, then you have less opportunities as well. So what we're looking at, like if this person, and yours might look different from what you're seeing on the screen because of your date and time of birth, but basically where, if you're missing an element, you're missing out on one of these 5 attributes. Wealth is about your wealth. And your prosperity, and power is about, you're having the potential to be empowered and empower others and making decisions. This is following the rules. If you don't have that, you're kind of all over the place. Resource, if you're without resource, that is going to mean that you don't have a lot of help. You have to do many things on your own. And then if it is your networks, it's the people that you are networking with. It is the people that you know. Again, if you don't have these, the networks filled, that means that you're probably going to be kind of exhausted because you don't really have that working in your favor. Then if you're without one of the elements that is creation, this is an element that you produce, then that means that it's not saying that you're not creative, but it's just harder to get that creative juice going. It also means that it's harder for you to produce anything in the respect, like one of our products is the TimeBlazr. So I'm very fortunate that my creative is actually quite full. So I come up with innovative ideas. That's kind of what it means. And then when you go over, even though it looks a little garbled as the screenshot, but this is the yin and yang. And then what you would be missing is, something that would not be there. Now, I can guarantee you one of the things that people wig out the most about or get most upset about is, oh, I don't have my wealth element. So what do? Well, any particular year, we have elements that are going to be favorable and not favorable. In 2021, we actually have water and metal as being a favorable element. So, depending on what water and metal mean to you, then that can start telling you, oh, I have a little bit more of that helping me throughout the year. But if you don't have it, you either have to find it within any particular year that element is going to be coming forward. Then we look at the elements that are available on an annual basis. You can also find them in any particular month because the months are the animals of the zodiac, the 12 animals. So you have to know just a little bit of that type of information that can be found out a little bit easier through a personalized reading. But just following along with us as we go forward, you'll start maybe learning a little bit more about your chart. So then what you need to do is start learning what some of these attributes mean as far as your actions are concerned. So let me just do a very brief what the different 5 elements. If you're missing one of these elements, what could you do? All right, if you're missing fire, it's about visibility and happiness. So are you a happy person? Is there something that you need to be around maybe other people to help bring up that? And then this is also about your visibility. What are you doing about your visibility? Is your website up to date? Are you getting out and meeting with people, even if it's getting out on Zoom or some sort of platform where you're meeting people on a regular basis? You have to be seen. If it's not seen, your fire is put out. And there's yin and yang of that goes beyond what we can cover today. Earth is about nurturing yourself. It's about self-care. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you making sure that you're safe and protected? These are earth elements. This is also grounded, doing some meditation, grounding yourself in your meditation so you're not kind of flighty and all over the place. Metal, it's about systems. It's about talking the truth. It's about being right and just. Water is about being in the flow. It's about maybe doing some research. It is about, moving your body. Water never likes to be still. Still water means stagnation. And I'm talking about completely still water. If you have a bucket of water and you just keep it, there's going to be a scum over it. It's going to start smelling funky, and that we don't want that. Water needs to move. So where are you being stagnant in your personal life? And this means your physical body too. And then wood is about connections. It's about teaching. It's about learning something new. So are you learning something new? Now, this is just covering the brief surface of what the 5 elements are, and then it depends on what is the missing element for you. So let's just say the missing element happens to be maybe your creation. Then work on your creativity, start picking up something new to learn, and start connecting with people. That's what wood is about. So again, that's a not only a full episode, that's a whole training in and itself about the 5 elements, but hopefully that answered your question. All right, let's move on to the next.
Okay, next one is selling my major asset. My home would be better for the fire rooster in year of the tiger versus rabbit, dragon, snake. Actually, dragon or snake might be good too. I know rabbits are not compatible with roosters, but I specifically need to know which year I should sell my house. Many thanks again if you choose to answer this question.
Okay, so I do choose to answer this question, and I just want to, even say that you're on the right track. And I wrote back to this person, and it was so, sort of kind of ignore a little bit what she is saying here, because this person wants to sell their house, and what she's talking about is when would be a good time to sell real estate. So, and she's looking at it from a year perspective. Now, the reason I asked her back is, and I'm going to go back to that sample chart again, is that, when you're looking at selling property, one of the best win-win situations to do is, one, select a very good day and time to um, remove yourself from that property. And one of the best ways you can do that is clash yourself out of the day pillar. So this is like the optimum. So I wrote her back, and I asked her what is her pillar, the day pillar, and she is a fire rat. So really, what she needs to find is a day that is a horse, is a horse day, month, or year. Now, every 12 days, we have a horse that comes to, the picture, if you will. We have every day at 11 to 12:59 is a horse hour, and then the horse month is in the month of June. Now, if you want to wait, you're going to have to wait until 2026 when there is a horse year. So that may be too far off, because we've got the tiger, we've got the rabbit, we've got the dragon, the snake, and then we've got the horse that is coming up. So that's not until, like I said, 2026. So that might be too far off for you to sell. Now, you also have to put some common sense into this equation as well. Right now, the real estate market is very hot. And the reason why it's very hot is because everybody is trying to move and get into, maybe more affordable living. I know there's been a huge exodus of people that are leaving
Mm-hmm.
California because of the cost of living. But the cost of living, and I know this person doesn't live in the US, but you might be facing those same things. But it's a bubble, and I need you to know that it's a bubble. Now, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a realtor, but I think you can kind of look around that the real estate has just skyrocketed, and it might be a good time to sell the property, within the next, few months. Real estate, from what I am understanding from connections that I have, that it's starting to level off a little bit, but it's still extremely high. So if you want to get in on the high end of it, you might want to think about, finding a good day and time to actually, use your day pillar to clash yourself out. So if you are going to clash out another pillar, yes, you can do that. But really, the formula, which is, if you're looking for the best case scenario, it would be looking for a horse day, a horse month, a horse the day, a horse day with a rat would be ideal, or wait till June when the horse month comes along. So there's many ways in which you could go about this, but listing your property on that day where it clashes you out using the TimeBlazr. We love also using remove days, but the more that you put these filters on, the more the possibilities come down. So I hope that did help you, but you were on the right track. It was the wrong pillar. We needed the day of birth pillar, is what I'm trying to point out here. So hopefully that helped, but this is it is a big decision to sell a piece of property. So doing it on the right day and time will benefit the person to get a higher price, have the transaction be smoother, and those things, so make sure that you're, signing, counter signing, maybe with negotiations, to do those all on beneficial days that benefit you so that you can get the best outcome. So hopefully that helped.
Hmm.
All right, let's go on to question 3.
All right, the next question is, hi, Kathleen. You talk a lot about the animals, but where can I find the effect of the animals? That would be very helpful.
Okay, so there are a couple of things that I would do at this stage of the game. Number one is I would go back to my playlist that is called Stimulate Your Business. I think that's how you
Hmm.
set it up, right, Alice?
Hmm.
And
Yes.
listen to, and this is a good time for you to listen to it as well, because we are at the last 3 months of the metal ox before we go into the water tiger. So, what I've done in that playlist is I have talked about how you can finish up the rest of this year and how you can start preparing for the upcoming year. That would be number one. Number two is we actually just ran a class called the 12 Keys to Unlock Your Internal Codes. And to me, this is one of the absolute and perfect timing. If you haven't already enrolled in that class, it's a class where we are actually clearing the decks of past traumas and old patterns that we keep attracting, because we have a very unique juxtaposition between astrology and the feng shui of the space. Truthfully, it's the flying star part of the space that we're talking about. That there's an alignment that we will only see once in 180 years. There's many different little pieces of this setup, but it suffice to say, I know what I'm having my clients do, and myself, and even Alice. We are actually trying to, um, really like just clean up our own stuff, right? So that we can manifest in 2022. And I've even called my event "Leap into Action." It's going to be a very different energetics, and it's going to go quick, fast, and furious, if you will. But you have to be ready for it. If you're not ready for it, it's going to be an overwhelm. You're gonna be caught up in the same patterns as you're continuing to do right now. So my highest suggestion would be to go ahead and go over to this URL, bit.ly/unlock12. And there's going to be 4 dates left. Excuse me, 3 of the 4 dates left. It's a very reasonable price. We're not going to knock anything off of it because it's so reasonable for what we're offering over there. And then and we've got 3 dates left in this pig month that starts actually just in a few days, but we've got a couple of days left in the dog. That is very highly recommended that you think about this course to help you prepare for the upcoming year. And then obviously the last step would be make sure you get to my event in January, because we're going to be talking about each and one of those animals. So there's some free resources, there's some very low investment resources, but they're on my channel as far as we are right now in the year. And I highly recommend you taking steps towards that. Is there anything else, Alice, that you can think
Hmm.
of that would
Well,
help?
there's another playlist that you may want to listen to, and it's taken from Kathleen's talk from January of this year, where she talks about the animals, and it's called the 2021 Animal Astrology Forecast. So that's also in her playlist, and all of the links that Kathleen talks about will be in the description below. So make
Perfect.
sure to read that, like, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. All
All
right, let's
right,
go.
so we're going to move on to the next question. We have, you are so generous with your knowledge, Kathleen. Yes, you are. When does the water tiger start, and what do you do to prepare for it?
All right. So the water tiger is actually here. We are already experiencing the water tiger. This is called ascending energy. So we're already feeling the effects of it, but we really
Mm,
can't do the adjustments as far as feng shui and all that. We still have to stay within the metal ox, but you can already start preparing. And really, the same tips apply for this as I did. I said before is, watch those playlists, get the unlock the 12 inner codes, internal codes. But when it officially starts, now we have a lunar, um, which is the more cultural Chinese New Year, and then there's the year that we demarcate for all of the feng shui adjustments. So that's the one that I'm going to speak about, and that is going to arrive on February the 4th of 2022. And right off the top of my head, I can't remember the exact time, but I believe it's also in the tiger hour, I believe. So it's very early in the morning. It's like 4:57 or something like that in the morning or something like that. So, but anyway, it starts February the 4th. And we're just finishing up. That's another tool that I would also encourage people to think about is I have my annual book that I will have come out probably the end of November, beginning of December at this point. So be on the outlook for that, because that can give you a lot of information right before the event happens. But we're
Mm-hmm.
having it in early January, so you'll have days to get your space prepared and all of that. But here's what I really want you to start thinking about. If you do not have this ready yet, I want you to like get it done like within the next week or so, is get your accurate floor plan. That is one of the best things that I can advise you to get prepared for the year, because you're going to want to be in the more vibrant areas. The more vibrant areas that you put your body in, the more your body frequency is going to raise. The more that you're in the negative, you're fighting a battle that is not necessary. You're tolerating things that are just silly. You need to be in the more vibrant areas. When you're in the more vibrant areas, you have a better chance of having a better year, depending on what's in your chart and how everything's set up. And you have to also think about your external environment. When we talk about feng shui, I want you to start opening up your mind to know what is on the outside of the space that is affecting the internal. That's where the feng shui starts, is external, not internal. So keep that in mind as well. Alrighty. I think that answered that one. And
And our last one is actually a comment from one of our followers, Antoinette. And she says, "Hi, Kathleen. I like to give you a huge compliment. My years have been tough, but following all your advice, there is a breakthrough until next year, February 2022. Then we are in the year of the water tiger. Let's see what will happen. Having the TimeBlazr, listening to your feng shui advice, sitting in the south, changing tables and chairs, it all works. And so nice that you do listen to our questions. And I learn every day and listening to your workshops. All my love for you and Alice, Antoinette." Oh, thank you, Antoinette.
and we're sending our love back to you, and I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
that you're listening to the advice, because it really, people I think overcomplicate things sometimes when they're thinking about feng shui and their astrology and all of that. But it's simply getting the time blazer and finding out what the best days are for yourself, and listening every week to these feng shui tips that I'm going to be giving out, and moving into the south. That was one of the best directions in 2021, as well as the northeast. We really like the northeast as well, a couple other directions as well, but maybe that's what was available to her. But you know what, her sitting in the south has, what that has actually activated for her is helpful people. So hopefully some people are coming into her you know sphere of influence that have either offered their help and advice, and or she's asked for that help and advice. But that's what she's triggering the positive to make her life easier and better. So congratulations to you, Antoinette, for actually carving out some time to help yourself be a better businesswoman. So great job, and we are happy to
Mhm.
have you in our tribe. And thank you so much for following. So I think that is our questions for today. And so I think we will bid you a very amazing week. Was there anything else that we missed? Was there any other questions that we
No, I
missed?
think that was it.
Okay.
For-
So we will see you next week. We will be officially in the pig month, where it
Mhm.
starts actually on Sunday, but we will
Okay.
be back here on Monday with astrology. So again, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put those below, and go ahead and subscribe and like if you liked what you heard today. And please share this information. By doing so and building this community together, we can stay giving this advice on this channel. So, but we need your
Mhm.
help to keep it going. So please just bring one person next week. That's all we ask. Just bring one person that might be interested in this information, and let's see if we can help them as well. Anything else, Alice?
No, just have a wonderful weekend.
All right. We'll see you back Monday around midday lunchtime. So have an amazing week. We'll see you then. Take care. Have and
Bye, everyone.
see you soon. Bye bye.